Welcome back to Wild, Wise and Curious, Embracing Our Journey, where we're excited to continue the conversation around all things peri and beyond. We'll continue to explore all our stories, challenges and importantly the wisdom we learn along the way. As usual, we'd love to chat with women just like you who might like to share your own perimeno or post-menopause stories with us. We can't wait to chat with you. Right, we are recording. So, welcome to Wild, Wise and Curious. This is a different kind of episode for us. We're joined by Myra, Lorraine and Joanne. Welcome to Wild, Wise and Curious, ladies.
Thank you very much.
We normally start with asking our guests how they came to realise that they were in perimenopause, but obviously you ladies are in post-menopause. So can we start by sort of throwing it open there? Who would like to tell us a little bit about what their sort of perimenopausal journey was like?
I've got to be honest, only since recently when I've thought about it, because you used to get your sweats all the time, didn't you?
No.
And I used to think, well, I've never had sweats,
Yeah.
but I had them years before,
Okay.
and I don't think I realised that that's actually
were
what it
having them.
was. Yeah,
Okay, so how old do you think you were then, Lorraine?
I would say in my 40s,
Okay.
and then I had my last period I was 49.
Okay.
So
Well, there is
I
hope then. There is hope.
Yeah,
That's
I
where we are
didn't
now.
realise that, but that's what they were at the time, because then from 49 I didn't get anything. I didn't get any of the, like you used to say, you'd wake up at night and
Yeah.
I never had anything like that. But years before I did, but it's only now that I'm thinking, that's what that must have been.
Yeah. Do you think that, so you think obviously that those sweats that you were having in
Yeah.
your early 40s,
Yeah.
that was probably the perimenopausal run-up,
Yeah,
and obviously that was the only sort of symptom
Yeah.
that you had?
and the with
and
people.
yeah. How long did that last?
I would say a good 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
But yet when I finished my periods, I never had anything.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you finished periods, did that kind of ragey, did that disappear?
Yes, but I put that down to the older you got, you just think, I can't be bothered to let these things bother me anymore.
Yeah.
But
I know, like
No.
my mum, she would say that she never went through perimenopause. It's only like now we've started talking about it. She's like, actually, maybe I did,
Yeah.
but I was just, you know.
I think you just got on with it.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
my
yeah,
mum said.
nobody spoke
Yeah.
about it, so
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's what it was.
Yeah.
My mum used to say you'd get like creeping as if something
Oh,
was...
yes.
I never had anything like
Oh.
that. No.
Joanne,
Terrible.
you did, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like ants. I would literally scratch my skin raw. It was like ants would crawl in all up my arms, all over me. I would itch all over. Terrible. Absolute terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did that go on for?
Years.
I would say
Absolute
that, yeah.
years.
Did it like come and go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't continuous, but oh gosh, it would be like so. Just like something was crawling all up your arms all the time, and you would itch and itch, and it'd be like this, and you would itch. Oh yeah, terrible.
And did that just
Skin would be
stop?
really dry as well,
Yeah.
so you'd put
Yeah.
moisturiser
Yeah.
on, but it didn't help. Nothing at all. So yeah, it just stopped. Yeah, but that stopped before other symptoms did, and then I feel like you go on to another different symptom.
Yeah.
So you'd have one, you wouldn't have them all at the same time,
Yeah.
and then it would change to something else. Like, I can remember walking home with all you ladies and saying how much my hips were hurting me and my joints, and you said, it's the menopause. I said, really? And it just aches so much, like in your joints, particularly your hip. But yeah, so you just go from one different symptom to another, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I experienced the pain in your
Yeah.
hips and like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's just like
Couldn't get comfortable. And, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not nice. I get it in one of my shoulders as well. It's
Yes, that's all part of it, but you don't think that's anything to do with it, because I didn't till these ladies said that to me.
You just think it's part of being old, getting older
Yeah.
as well, don't you? You just think
Yeah.
you put everything down to, oh,
Yeah.
I'm older now, I'm going to start dealing with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got arthritis now, but that's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you think, oh, is it something like that? But it's not.
So did
Yeah.
the pain in your hips go as well?
Yes,
Once
eventually,
everything settled?
yes. And then you get another symptom, Like, yeah, the flushes and it's like the heat was coming up from your toes. And you could feel it starting at your toes and just rising up your body. I never got to the stage like a friend of mine did where she was just dripping. She would be sitting having a coffee with me, and we'd be in my house or in a coffee shop or something, and she'd start getting fidgety and then it would dripping off her. But I was never like that. But the heat would just rise up until I could not cool myself at all. I'd be fanning myself left, right and centre. I was always boiling hot in bed, and yet I wasn't one who would sit round in a thin vest top. I wasn't, because I did feel the cold, but then this heat would just hit you. Yeah.
Did it like colour you up, sort of thing, so you were all red, or did your skin?
I would go very, very clammy all round here and feel very clammy, and my face would be very red. Yes, but I wasn't dripping with sweat, nothing like that. But it would wake you up. And, well, that's if you were sleeping, because sleep was another thing. Didn't sleep well.
And how long did that go on for?
Years.
Did it?
Yeah. It all went on for years.
Years. But what about now?
No, don't get hot flushes now. My friend still does.
Yeah.
She still has them, and she's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I don't really. I'll get hot. I don't like the hot weather anyway, so I get hot like that. I don't deal with the heat very well, but I don't wake up sweating or anything like that, and I don't get the ants crawling over my skin anymore or anything like that. No, so that all does stop.
But do you have to wait for your periods to stop? Did everything, the symptoms kind of stop when periods stopped, or did the symptoms carry on for a bit afterwards? Or
No, I think they eased off before your period stopped, and you might get another symptom, but then it's quite. No, I think thinking about it, you don't really think about it, do you? But I think a lot of them did stop pretty much. Yeah.
So you have got that bit then to really look forward to. Because I'm 6 months now without a period, and that happened last year as well, because I got quite excited.
Well, you're quite young then.
Months. Well, I'll be 50 in June, so and because obviously Mum is in the room, your period stopped. You were 60, weren't you, when you?
Yes.
60 when you had your last
I was
period?
60 when I had my last one.
Yeah, I was 57.
I was 49.
Yeah, because then I
49.
because I went 6 months when I was about 48, 49, and I went 6 months without a period. Oh, that's it, I've done. And then all of a sudden I come on, and it was really, really heavy.
Oh dear.
And the next thing I was...
you know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well...
49, 6 months.
Yeah, but then that's when I had to go in and have that... the hospital.
See, I didn't have
and
any of that. I didn't go 6 months without one.
I've only found a load of stuff.
Had one
up
that
there.
lasted for 18 days. Yeah.
You know, like, what do they call them? Polyps. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank goodness they cut them all
So
out.
mine were like your mum's. They were so heavy,
Really?
literally flooded out for the first 3 days. Absolutely ruined many of a holiday because you were worried to death about leaking, worried to death about making a mess in the bed because you'd leaked through. Oh, terrible.
So how did you
No
cope with
pain
that?
whatsoever. No pain.
Oh,
No.
that's something.
No pain.
That's
Just
bizarre.
so heavy. Clots, massive
Yeah.
clots.
Oh, wow.
Probably I should have gone to the doctor with it, I don't know. But I just very much believe in letting nature take its course. Absolute flooded out. For the first sort of 3 days. At night time, I would have to wear at least 6 pads.
Wow.
Yeah. And like I would have pants on, a pair of Allen's boxers on the top, and your pyjamas, and you'd still leak. Yeah. For the first few days.
It's horrible,
Yeah.
that feeling, isn't
Yeah.
it, in the beginning.
You would just feel it pulsing out of you. Yeah.
So how did you deal with that when you were going out? Because obviously you had a really active job. How did you do everything that you did when you were flooding?
Just carried on as normal. I just have to get on with it now. Just protect yourself up and change yourself and carry on. That's all you could do.
Well, that's like when Sue and I used to go out with, we'd go on holiday and stuff like that. then we'd have to wear something like this round his waist,
Yeah.
so that anything that was coming out the back didn't get
God,
seen
you
by
never-
anybody
you-
else. We
you
knew it
never
were there.
wore white.
No, you
And then-
never
then
had
they'd
white, you know,
walk
because in our
behind
day
us.
then, linen trousers
Yeah.
were all the thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Still are, aren't they? But linen trousers, oh God, you went through a phase, you never had any white ones.
No.
Because you didn't chance it. No.
I wouldn't dare chance.
Oh, you'd have to go on holiday with so much protection to wear, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But I had heavy periods, but not as heavy as yours. But I had really painful periods.
Oh, you see, I didn't have
Mine
any
were-
pain whatsoever.
Yeah, mine were awful. I
No.
could have. I nearly used to pass out with the pain.
Really?
It was so bad. Yeah,
No, mine weren't.
yeah.
No.
So how
Oh,
did you?
Sorry, I was going to say, was that always?
Yeah.
They were always like that.
Yeah.
Regardless. Of
Really, really painful until I had Ryan. When I had Ryan, they weren't as painful. I don't know why I'm Ryan, because he was the fourth.
Oh, okay.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
But no, really, I would always either be off school. I would always have to have time off school and work because I just couldn't cope with the pain. Lisa was the same, and they ended up. I think she was 15, and they encouraged her to go on the pill to regulate, which that did help.
Yeah.
And then she came off it then after, and then they did regulate. But back then, you never thought of going to your doctor and saying, "Oh, you know, have really painful periods." Like you say, you just got on with it. You didn't.
Yeah, well, you did.
Yeah.
But say mine weren't painful at all.
Yeah.
You know.
And actually, what would the doctor have said
Yeah.
back then
Yeah.
when you were 15?
Yeah.
What would be the options?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to have the conversations, I don't
No.
think, would you? Back
No.
then, you know, it would have been really quite
Yeah.
a taboo
Really.
subject,
Yeah,
really,
it was.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, when I had my first child, when I had Lisa, my friend was due a few weeks after, and she says to me, "What was the pain like?" And I says, it was just like a really bad period pain, because to me, that is what the pain was like. And when Mick then took her home, he says, "I don't know what she means about period pains, because she looked like she was dying." So she didn't say that to her. But honestly, for me, it was just bad period pains.
Yeah. But if
But-
you've been used to having really,
Yeah.
really bad period
Yeah.
pains, then
Yeah.
your threshold
Yeah.
of pain would be
Yeah.
totally different, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
And it is all pain down
Yeah.
there, isn't it, in that bottom bit of your
Yeah.
belly? I used to get like pains like the tops of my legs
Yeah.
and the lower part of my tummy, but never massively bad. It was more. It was quite I was alright dealing with it. Whereas my sister, like she went through the mill, didn't she, with her
Oh, yeah.
periods?
Well, she was in the middle of an exam once, weren't she? And I got a phone call from the school saying that she was almost passing out.
But yeah, she really struggled with
Yeah.
it.
She really did, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about this as well the other day, Mum. When I was of period, like starting my periods, maybe
Yeah.
about 15, 16.
You were, yeah, because you were a bit older than I.
Yeah.
I was starting to get a bit concerned that you weren't starting your periods and was there something wrong, you know? Yeah.
But do you remember, because this only came to my head the other day, that I was put on oil of evening primrose for periods? That was through the doctor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember. Do you remember what that was for? Was it just for periods?
I think it was just for your periods, I'm sure, yeah.
Okay. So I just, you like have one of those thoughts.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I must
Yeah.
ask him. And I thought,
Yeah.
it's hormone related, and oil of evening primrose,
Yeah.
people take that, don't they? Because of
Yeah, no, because I was worried that you took it because of the promise I'd made.
Oh, what, the one about not going on HRT?
Yes.
You brought it up.
Yeah, my mum had ovarian cancer.
Okay. Yeah. So,
And
do you want to talk about, not necessarily talk about that bit, but
Yeah, it's well, we got to. My dad she kept, bet you this don't look right, that doesn't look right. You know, you're doing this. You're all right, or you're. And it went on for a little while, and then he made because she wouldn't go to the doctors. He made an appointment with a private physician, and we didn't tell her she was going there. We went out for a drive in the car. And we stopped outside this private place, and Dad says, "Come on then, let's go in." Why? You know what we're going in there for? I knew, and I said, "Oh, come on, Mum." You know. So we went in, and it was. They found out it was ovarian cancer over the few days. Then they whipped her into the hospital, not privately. and she had total hysterectomy, ovarians, the whole lot. And my dad basically saved her life. So she went from 47 like that to 91 when she passed.
Oh my goodness.
But they never offered her anything, did they? So they
No,
took
because in
everything
those days
away.
they did, yeah.
So
And then
no
they
HRT.
both asked me, you know, said please don't take any HRT or anything, you know, because it might give you the same ovarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they've made me promise I wouldn't. So I
So
can't
we-
break that promise, not even now.
And you've made Michelle promise that too.
No,
Oh,
no,
oh.
I like it.
no.
I'm
I mean, don't get me wrong. I really wanted to.
I'm on HRT and I'm loving it. HRT was something that pulled me out the other side. Yeah. So Nan and Grandpa obviously made you promise you'd never go on
Yeah.
HRT.
Not horribly. It was
No.
done,
It
you
was
know,
done
just
from love.
from
Yeah,
love.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Just make sure you didn't go through the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Which is what
obviously,
any parent would do.
But yeah, but instead of doing that, I was having our last child, our third one, and I had a stroke instead.
Did you really?
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't I?
Wow.
yeah, he's 40 odd now.
43. I mean, they wanted to terminate and everything, and I refused. And I even did something really bad and told him not to tell Mick.
But you've told Dad since, right?
Oh yeah,
That's
as
all
soon
right.
as he was
I mean,
born.
this is going out to the
No, as soon as he was, yeah, no. As soon as he was born, then I told him because we'd then got a son that was just lovely. Yeah, but that's why we didn't have any more.
Okay. And that's why Mum didn't ever go on HRT.
Yes.
Well, obviously HRT is it's in a different place now to what
Oh, yeah.
what Nana and Grandpa were responding to, which was the report that came out in the early 2000s that, you know, it had its flaws. But yeah, so I mean, it's just an interesting thing, isn't it? The fact that a promise made 20, 30, 40 years ago still stands now.
It was, yeah. I think I was 17 when I promised
Oh,
that.
crikey, okay.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
a little
so-
bit longer than that then.
But you, so you're, how have you felt with not having HRT then, Lana?
Oh, I think maybe there's been times when I should have gone on it,
Okay.
but I haven't. And Michelle feels that it would have done me good. And even now, to look at that stuff you rub on yourself and yeah. And I'm sure that, like you say, it must have changed over the last 50 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's got to be safer to use now. Otherwise, they'd have stopped using it.
Yeah, definitely. And it does change. So, ladies, what would you say is something that might like help to get you through menopause? Like when you were going through the different symptoms, obviously, like you, Lorraine, didn't really have massive symptoms.
No.
So did you just carried on
Yeah.
as normal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just carried on as
Yeah.
normal, even though you had spiders crawling up
Yeah,
your legs and all
you
that.
just- I don't like taking things that if you don't have to take things.
Yeah.
Don't even like taking a headache tablet if I
Same
don't
here,
have to.
yeah.
So just got on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it must have been cake and chocolate for me that kept me going.
Help yourself.
Oh, that is another thing. Weight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you put weight on. Yeah, going through the menopause.
And it's hard
You
to
do.
shift.
Really,
Really
you do
is hard
get
to get rid of. Yeah.
really do get middle-aged spread, don't you? You do, and it is hard to get rid of it. Yeah.
So when did you notice that? Was what sort of how far into all of
40s.
yeah
Yeah, yeah,
yeah it is trickier, isn't it, to shift
Yeah.
it? But also you guys and we're like really busy, so you kind of like think, oh, when can I fit in going for to do some exercise? And
yeah.
like the jobs that you three had, you were probably absolutely knackered by the time the end of the day was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we only work 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Only.
Only.
Yeah.
Looking after little ones.
Yeah, doing school runs and all sorts.
Mm.
So, but yeah, it's so what's the sort of like shining light then for anyone who's listening that okay, you can have, obviously you can be relatively like lucky with perimenopause and menopause and not really suffer like much.
But I don't think I understood that that's what these things were. And I think the thing you can do is talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, you just think it's happening to you and it's not happening
To all the other women.
I think that's where you guys have been lucky
Yeah.
as well, because you've had these conversations with each other.
Yeah.
Because actually,
No.
going back, it wasn't something that was
No.
discussed.
No,
Was
it's
it?
like the pain that I used to have in my hips. You put it down I used to push a double push chair all the time with children
Yeah.
hanging on it, being a childminder.
Mm.
But it's walking home with you that you would say to me, no, this is the menopause, because obviously you were a few years in front of me. But because you could have thought something was really wrong with you, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
So-
that bone pain.
Yeah.
is,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
horrible, isn't it?
Oh,
It's
it
like
doesn't
someone
go away.
drilled
It's like you
into
want to
your bone.
dig your fingers in big time.
I
Yeah.
always say when I'm talking to Tom, I say to me, when I get the hip pain, it feels like
Yes.
a toothache in my hip.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just weird, isn't it? But then
Yeah.
it goes, like now,
Yeah.
I've not got anything, nothing at
No.
all. But then,
No.
yeah, it's a funny old time.
Yeah.
So when you come out the other side and you're in post-menopause, what's everyone got to look forward to?
No periods.
No periods.
No pain.
That in
Yeah.
itself is
Yeah.
great, especially,
Yeah.
Yeah, can wear white trousers again.
Yeah, so when your period stopped, Lorraine, did that mean that you didn't have the terrible pains, or did you have any
No,
problems?
no,
So
didn't
none
have,
at all?
no
So that must have
pain.
been quite
Yeah.
a relief, or
Yeah.
a massive relief.
I always remember when it was, because it was just before Madison was born.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's how I remember. I was 49.
Yeah.
But no, and I think life got easier. I'd like to think it did.
So it's one less thing to worry about,
Yeah.
apart from anything else,
Yeah.
isn't it?
You could actually go on holiday and know that that plane journey wasn't going to make you come on your period, even if you weren't due your period. You could
Yeah.
guarantee you would come on the day after you got on holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't
I
know
nearly
why.
always
No,
do.
but it
Yeah.
does like mess with
Yeah.
your hormones, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Randomly
Yeah.
make you come on your period.
Yeah.
But also, I like what you said about the not like worrying about things so much, not giving as much of a fluff.
Definitely.
Because we're finding that, and we speak to a lot of women who are like saying that one of the nicer things of being sort of in perimenopause or getting towards menopause is the fact that you don't give
Two hoops.
two hoops.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was trying to think of
Yeah.
it politely.
A polite way.
I kept getting a naughty word.
Yeah.
So that's got to be quite nice.
And do you think that's an age thing? Do you think that's just because we're getting older? We've seen, you've seen life a little bit more. You've dealt with a lot more. I don't know.
Yeah,
is
maybe,
that part of menopause, or is that just the fact that we've gotten older and gone through life a lot more? And
Yeah,
dealt with
you realise the things that actually you really, really do care about, and then the things that you don't
Yeah.
really.
you haven't got
Yeah.
time for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want
Yeah.
to waste
Things
time.
you can tolerate and things you can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the
Yeah.
things that you can't tolerate, maybe you just distance
Yeah.
yourself from it a little
Yeah.
bit more. Maybe
Yeah.
that is just being a bit wiser.
Yeah, I remember when Sue was, she was given the, what do they call it?
Coil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coil, and
Is
it
that
got
just
all
from
the.
the actions? Mum's making hand actions that looks like a coil. She was a gynae in a previous.
Yeah, and it suited all her hormones and stopped her having the heavy periods and everything because it got all these hormone things on it, hadn't it?
Oh.
Yeah.
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 It got a special name to it, and she's put it on that note that she's
Has she?
given.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll reference it then. How long ago would that have been?
Oh crikey, should have been.
Like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
You see, I'd have said a few years ago, but
Yeah,
time just
no,
goes
no.
so
So fast, doesn't it?
I know, it does go really
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah, but, okay. So, what sort of words of wisdom would you kind of pass on to anyone who's listening who perhaps thinks, oh my God, does this ever end? This is awful.
Yeah. Go and see your doctor and get some advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to be going through it without
No.
some support. Yeah.
And also, like you've had, and your other friends as well, like you've got support with each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make a
Because
massive
it's
difference,
perfectly
doesn't it?
normal. You're not on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So it's kind of having a support network, talking to people. If you feel like you need to speak to your doctor, go and speak to your doctor. And like you three walk quite a lot as well,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so you like keeping active. Like, crikey, I see you
Trying
walking.
to. I know.
Sometimes I'm like, is that Lorraine?
Yeah, we
miles
still
away from home.
we still walk.
But you know, it's that, you know, it's sort of keeping active, isn't it? And keeping your minds active, and just having that support network of chatting with each other and talking about what's going on. Okay, all right. So, is there anything else that anyone wants to add?
I suffered from terrible sore boobs.
Did you?
Terrible, so painful when I was due on all the time. Oh my gosh! Even if the kid would sit in my knee and knock me out anything, the pain was intense. But I've got a big bus, so I suppose I don't know if that were anything to do with it. Oh, terrible!
No, mine were the same.
If you turn over in bed,
yeah.
anything, you know, dreadful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what sort of like pain? Like if anyone touched the skin?
Just
or
so
anything?
tender,
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah.
So tender. So
Don't
tender.
touch me.
No,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
yeah, very,
Then when
very
the period
sore.
stopped, that stopped
Yes,
as
it
well.
went. That went. No, oh yes, but when your period started, that pain would go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be
So
the days
it would
before.
be days leading
Yeah.
up to you being due on.
Wow.
So painful. But then when you came on, that disappeared then. Yeah.
Isn't it funny how we're all absolutely different?
Yeah.
Like everyone has totally
Yeah.
different symptoms of things going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, my boobs used to give me a bit of grief. Yeah. But not as bad as yours did.
Yeah.
And I always used to think, oh, I've got the wrong size bra on, perhaps that's, you know, but...
Yeah. That was for years and years and years. Yeah. So sore.
But I mean, we do have to strap them up and out the way.
Yeah,
don't
we
we?
have to strap mine
Yeah.
up big time. Yeah.
Stop showing off.
No, hate it. Yeah.
Well, I've got one different size to the other.
Most
I think that's most.
I was going to say most people,
Yeah. It's only with feet, isn't it? One's slightly bigger than the other.
Perhaps, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, any sort of words of wisdom of anything else that you want to say? Anything else you can think?
Or is there anything that you can think of that really helped you through that time? Other than having good friends to be able to chat
So
with.
we had a support of each other, didn't
Yeah.
we? Which was really...
No,
Yeah.
I think we used to just chat and
Yeah.
used to just get on with it because you got to run a house, a family, and just go to work and just go carry on. Yeah, I mean, it lasted for like a week and then it were gone again for a few weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it was just somebody saying about their symptoms, and you think, that's what it is then. You
My
know, 'cause
husband
you
would
don't
say
always
it is
think.
nature
No, you don't.
taking
Yeah.
its course. It's just nature,
Well, that's
he
easy
used
for
to
him
say.
say.
Yeah.
He's not going through it.
No, well, no, but
But some people
Yeah.
do go through it and don't have any symptoms.
no.
But like I say, my biggest was I know my mood
Yeah.
and then the sweating, but the sweating was years before, and I didn't click that it could have been that.
Yeah.
No, you
Because
see-
my mum used to say, well, aren't you getting the creepy crawlies running up and
Oh,
down?
yeah.
I said, no. Aren't you getting the hot sweats? No. But I
See,
didn't think,
I
because
don't
I was
think I
sweating.
suffered with my mood,
Yeah.
but I think I had so many other symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mick might
don't,
tell you I suffered with my mood.
I don't think I did.
Mum
might
would
have
definitely
been
say that about me.
I might have been a little bit impatient. But yeah, I don't know. I can't think that I was like that at all. Probably my family will tell you different. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's just, the creepy crawlies were just terrible. Awful.
But it stops.
I've sat on many a holiday, honestly, and I have been sat there fanning myself like this. And I've looked around, this is on a cruise ship, and I've looked around and there's several women doing this. I think we're all going through it as well.
Feels like sisterhood
Yeah.
then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you can see other
Yeah.
people doing it.
I see you.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I see you in the bar later
Yeah.
we can talk about it.
I always remember being on the beach once and just turning around to see where your dad was, and there was a cord hanging out this woman's.
Oh, bless.
And I thought, do I go and say to her, you know, your Tampax is showing?
Things we have to go through as women, right?
I know, but that was it because she obviously pulled her bikini up.
The joys.
Yeah, these
the
things
joys.
happen, I suppose.
Being a woman, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just thinking about all these things.
I know.
Yeah.
And we do. We have a lot to think about, don't we? Because your mind gets quite full with things like obviously working, whereas back in the day it was just looking after your family, wasn't it? But then you know your generation worked full time and some, and looked after the family and did the shopping and kept house and made sure everything. I mean, that's exhausting in itself.
I do think that your memory gets a bit bad. I do think you get a bit forgetful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But then you put that down to just having very busy lives and juggling so many
Yeah, that's what we say.
things in one go. Yeah. But I do think that is part of it.
Yeah, because there's a big thing, isn't there, like that it's all, you know, brain fog because your brain changes because your hormones are depleting. But again, we've chatted on other shows saying that is it just the fact that we are constantly, from when we wake up in the morning, you're constantly on the go, you're constantly doing something, you've got to remember to pick somebody up or go to work. Or, you know,
what you're going to have for your dinner and out, you're going to do this, do you need to get that out of the freezer, do you need to go shops for this? And you're not only thinking of today, you're thinking of tomorrow's dinner as well, and aren't you? Everything. Yeah.
You know, so
have the kids got the PE kits ready? And have they got, well, you do. Yeah.
So I ask my Mick, I say, well, what are you thinking about? And he'll say, breathe in, breathe out. And I say, don't you think of anything else? And he goes, no.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
I know.
Imagine how peaceful it would
I know.
be here.
Yeah. I think as well, with having kids, I know that like when they wake up, so you think, oh God, they're awake at 6, so they're going to need to have a nap by this time, and they're going to need their dinner by this time, so they can have a nap at this time. And you literally are working out your whole day, don't you?
Yeah.
And then we've got to get to bed by this time, so we've got to make sure we eat by this time, and it never stops. And I really do feel like since the kids were little, my eldest is 23 now, but it's almost like that continues, that racing in the brain, doesn't it? And
organising everything. Yeah, tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
My eldest is nearly 50.
I'm excited.
How the heck has that happened?
I
It's
remember
just
your
gone.
50th because Finn was here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't he just born?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went away for the weekend. And I think Finn was just 9 months. No, a year. He was just over a year old.
Yeah, it was.
I
Yeah.
remember it really clearly. And it doesn't seem 20 years ago.
This is it. It just goes so fast, doesn't it? The older we get, the faster
Yeah.
it really does feel like.
Yeah, well, Ellie's just turned 21, and 6 weeks before that, I'd had Michelle, before I was 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does go quick. I think it speeds up a bit when you have kids. Well, this is how I feel. I felt like my time felt like, pretty chilled until I had the kids. And then once I'd had them, and then they go to school, and you're governed by, it's the half term, then it's Easter, then it's summer school holidays, then it's the other half term, then it's Christmas. My brain was always working to the next holiday, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't know, that seemed to, speed it all up. But I just wanted to slow down now.
Yeah, I think we do so much.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah.
I think that's probably why we don't feel like putting enough hours in the day.
No.
Try and do so much.
Appreciate you coming to have a chat with us today. I look forward to being in post-menopause ourselves, don't we?
Absolutely. Yes.
Fingers crossed for the next
Fingers
6 months.
crossed. 6 months in.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Wild, Wise and Curious. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, feel free to email us at info@wildwiseandcurious.com or reach out on our socials at wild_wise_and_curious. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Stay curious and we'll see you next time.